Hey guys, this is Camille with 14 Cozy Chronicles, and I just wanted to give a week's update. This is something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, but I was just like trying to get all of the videos explaining my 2025 lineup out first, and then I realized, you know what? I just need to film what I want to film, and hopefully it'll still be like good for you guys, even if some stuff kind of comes out a little bit out of order. So, yeah, I've been working on a series where I explain very briefly, at least, what I use each of my journals for, and kind of my whole batch of stuff. But I've been wanting to come out with videos where I'm just showing you the progress that I've made in these journals because I work pretty steadily in them right now. So yeah, so this is my everyday carry. It is a Hobonichi Weeks Mega, and this is what it looks like for this week. So I got myself a couple of things this week that I'm extremely happy and excited about. Definitely kind of spent a little bit more money than I was originally planning, but it's worth it to me. So I did end up getting one of these Canon IV printers. I think it's like the second version or generation 2 or however they put it. I have had one of these in the past, and then I just moved a couple of times and I like lost it somehow. So I replaced it, and I am extremely happy with that decision because ultimately it just saves me a lot of time and energy to be able to print out the photos that I want to put in my journals on the small printer paper. And I usually just do two pictures per page, which amounts to about this size. So yeah, very happy about that. And it's just kind of an update for me. And the other things I wanted to share is I had started commonplacing, but I had started just like the quotes part in my small journal. So this one had been going for a while, and I have a whole video on it, so you can kind of see that. But I had wanted to have like a big guy for like the long notes, not just the quotes. And I hadn't started that one yet as of my commonplacing video. So I actually started it. Now, if you've watched my commonplacing video, you would see that this looks different than what I had originally showed you. Because just for whatever reason, the book that I had originally bought for commonplacing, my brain just didn't like the idea, like it just couldn't commonplace it. I know that sounds so weird, but my brain does that. It'll just like assign like what kind of information makes sense, and then if I like deviate from that, it just like doesn't like it. And so I still have that book. This was the original that was supposed to be my expanded commonplace, and I turned it instead into a Etsy store, just like business planner, business bullet journal. No regrets there. It works great as that. My brain like accepted that. And I have this really beautiful leather cover on it. The cover does fit completely to cover the whole book without it flapping open like that. I just prefer this because it puts less like pull on the book, and I just like that it lays more flat basically. But yeah, so that is that. But back to my commonplace book, I actually started the expanded. So I bought a Moleskine expanded soft cover with dotted pages, and I got chugging on that, and I absolutely adore this process. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and so I've only had 2 sessions where I've really sat down and worked on it and like did entries in it, but I'm a long-winded, heavy note taker, so 2 sessions is still a good chunk of information there. So I had a documentary that I was watching, or a documentary series on Netflix called The Mind Explained. I watched the episode on memory, and then I watched the episode on dreams, and that's what these 2 are. And then I ended up having to go and sit at Les Schwab for like hours because I originally had all these other plans, and then my tire had a leak, and yeah, that was just a fun time. But it gave me an opportunity to commonplace because I had all my stuff on me. So I ended up watching a documentary on YouTube called How Does Light Actually Work? And so I did an entry on that. I love quantum mechanics. I just think it's extremely fascinating. And I had a short stint where I was going to I went to a college program about IT, and the only part of that program that I like genuinely enjoyed that like sparked my like creativity and passion and excitement was like learning how like electronics worked, in the sense of like the very ground foundational level of like how light transfers information and how that is converted into ones and zeros, and like that was like the level of tech that like was super super fascinating to me. But the actual level that I had like that the side of tech that I had like signed up for in the program was just not for me, so I ended up not doing that. But yeah, anyways, so that inspired me and made me want to like study about light a lot more, because that was like super interesting to me. So yeah, I finally got around to that, which is great, because it's something that's been like itching in the back of my brain forever. So I watched that one documentary, and then I have like a list of like 2 or 3 more that I want to check out and see if they're any good. And if they are, I will continue on with that subject matter in here. So I also have notes, because I am a Christian. So I also have notes about how all of the things that I learn about in science relate to scripture and faith, and just my theories and ideas and reflections and all those things kind of go in the margins here. And then I will oftentimes, once I'm done, write a longer reflection kind of afterwards. So I still have to do that. I've been filling in my marginal notes first. But that is the update on the Commonplace notebook. I'm very, very happy with it. That was like a very just enjoyable thing. I do want to start putting visuals in there too. Nothing crazy, but that little printer is going to be great for that. To just have little pictures here and there that go with the subject matter, but I don't want to go too nuts with that. And then this is the current spread that I am almost done for the week. This is what my weeks look like in my Hobonichi cousin. And so a lot of great things happen this week. My stickers that I sell, that I had manufactured, I had committed to a huge quantity, and I was super super excited about it, because this is this big milestone for me, and I made a bunch of videos of unboxing all of them. But yeah, so that happened the beginning of this week. So really the whole beginning of this week was dedicated to updating my shop and doing product photography and doing the videos for it and doing like just all the things for stickers. But this is one of them. So pretty. And I also started rewatching Doctor Who, which is a good thing for me, because I love that show. And I got a cube organizer for my room, because my room is basically an art studio with a bed in it, and I just needed something to help me kind of organize the chaos. So I've had a lot of really positive, really good things happen that I did. Oh, and I also had my last interview for a job that I'm very much hoping I get, but if I don't get it, I'm just trusting the Lord with that I will figure it out. But I really want that job, so hopefully that works out. But that was on Friday. So yes, I will be hearing about that next week. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, very full week for me, just as far as different things happening and / getting them done. Really happy about that. So, and then in here, I was like debating what part of this I should show you, because I make just random, like I don't do things in order in here. And so I do want to do a flip through of each month and just kind of show you, really break down how I use this. But I was trying to figure out, okay, can I even spot all of the updates? Because I will even go into old entries and continue to update and continue to add, and whether that's decorations or drawings or little notes or like whatever, I just keep building and building, and it's just like this ongoing thing. But like this is one of my other stickers, and this is obviously a spread I did for the day that my manufactured products arrived. And then I always do an unfiltered to-do list at the beginning of each month, and I don't stress about it. I just dump all the ideas of the things that I want to do ideally, and then I just do what I can, and then I cross out what I got done, and I keep on going. But it's not like I'm demanding myself to get all these things done. And then, yep, this is the day I got the cube organizer, and I used my little photo printer, and I put that picture in there, and I know that's not exciting to anyone else but me, but it just still really makes me happy. That I was watching a lot of Doctor Who in the background while I was getting all my stuff done, because I spent like hours organizing. And then there was the episode with Van Gogh, and I actually had these cards of a painting of Van Gogh's from a museum that I went to on a California trip like a year ago. And they're literally sitting on my floor as I was organizing, and then that episode came on, and I was like, okay, obviously I have to put these in the journal because that is just really cute. Kind of coincidence. And then this was the day that I had the interview, so I did a cute little entry there, just kind of talking about hopes and all that, and a quote that I really liked that I saw on one of the devotionals on my phone. And yeah, oh, I put this in. I did this. Did I do this week or last week? Recently. I did this one recently. So my tabs, for anyone who's interested, the pink tab is wherever I am in the weeks section. The green tabs are the pages where I have started but not finished. So usually like the basic decorations down, but then it's not filled in. And that's the side green tabs. And then once I start filling it in, I move the green tab up to the top, because I've started it but I haven't necessarily finished it. So these are started but still not finished, but kind of like decided, if that makes sense, decided on what they're gonna be. So that's the top ones. That's it. It makes sense to my brain, and that's what matters. And more updates. So I'm doing this series because hopefully it inspires you guys, and it's just like a fun thing to share. All of the journaling stuff that you do with people and see what they're up to in that way. But also just kind of for my own record, just being transparent, is like, I love this stuff, and it makes me happy, and so I'm doing it for the joy of it, of course, and hopefully you guys like it too. But I will share one. I'm sharing these in a weird order. So I went to a market today after church, where I didn't even know what was going on. I was just like driving to a park, and then I spotted it, and I was like, hey, that's actually really cool. And so I ended up going to a market instead of the park. And then I always walk around with cameras when I'm in any area that would be cool to take pictures. And then I ended up taking pictures of a bunch of people that I ended up talking to. So I was going to show you the pictures I took, and obviously update my little Polaroid album because of the pictures I took, and do some other stuff here. So yes. Last update unrelated to that is I have one of these guys. I've had it for a long time, but I haven't used it much, just because I've been too busy and haven't had the energy to really deep dive back into reading. But it is definitely a goal of mine. I recently finished the first Annihilation book with my sister, and then I have started the Hunger Games, the new one that I'm something Songbirds. My memory is complete trash, I'm sorry. But yeah, I have like over halfway through that as an audiobook. Yeah, I'll get into that later. But anyways, I was watching one of Megan Rhiannon's videos, and she recommended a book called Root Rot. I'm sorry, my memory's trash. But anyways, so I was like, you know what? That book sounds really cool. I've been wanting something to motivate me to get back into this little guy because I completely adore this device. It is a Books Palma, and I wanted something that would like excite me to use it again. So I got myself a book on Kindle, the Kindle app, but for my Books Palma. So I started reading like the first page or whatever. I literally just got it yesterday. So not the device, but the book. So yeah, that is hopefully in the wings. And if I'm good about it, I will update you. And if I'm not good about it, then you probably won't hear about it again. Well, we'll see. Lastly, a lot of my updates are just like me finessing my process, making sure I have all the stuff that I want in place for the self-care, because creativity and like writing and journaling and scrapbooking, that's like how I take care of myself. So this is a Elo sketchbook, the 8x8. I just got it on Amazon. I've used these many times before. I have one or two that are full, and then like one, I don't know. I have a couple of these over the years, and it's one of the only sketchbooks that I've ever filled up. So even though technically I have this like massive sketchbook that I do love very much, it kind of intimidates me, and I'm only in the mood to use it on like a rare occasion. Whereas this sketchbook, this brand, for whatever reason, my brain always wants to be in an Elo sketchbook, or Elo, yeah, it's Elo sketchbook. I love it. It's a good size for me. The paper is a really good like smoothness and thickness, and it's just great. And I've been like craving one of these for a long time, and I just hadn't bitten the bullet. So I was like, you know what, this is the week that I'm kind of adjusting and taking care of myself and like getting things that are going to set me up for success in that way. So I'm just going to get my sketchbook. So haven't started it yet because I just got it, which is a common theme of this update. But that is now there. So if I do start rolling on that, I will share that with you. And then I was at a market, so of course you have to support other artists when you're at a market. So even though I'm kind of balling on a budget right now and I had already spent money on other things, I ended up seeing a couple of things that I just really wanted. So Appa, because Appa is incredible and I love him so much. And he's like the main reason that I watch Avatar. So I got that guy, and then this is the business card of the creator. Oh, here, I'll put that up better. There you go. This is the business card of the creator who made this pin. So she had tons of different stuff, gorgeous stuff. She's local, obviously, because she's at the market, but like she lives locally. But yeah, as most girls I feel like do, I love Mean Girls. So I saw this and I was like, I want to be able to get something from her. So I was able to get that. And the girl who worked at the stand sounded like it was like her friend or something. So it wasn't the artist of the pins, but she was super sweet. And so we got talking and I ended up taking her picture, and you'll see her in a second. And so there's those. And then last thing that I purchased, these are all pictures I took, but last thing that I purchased was this guy. And let's see. Oh, no. I was looking around to see if I needed like scissors or something. But I love Pokemon. So it's a little gemstone, or is that right? Yeah. Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur is my favorite. So super, super cute. Love him, love him. I definitely took my time to pick the one I liked the most, because there was a couple of like where the variation in the stone like started and ended, and I just liked this one the most. So he was like $10, I think, and then put him over there. And then each pin was like $5, which was really surprising to me, because normally pins are not $5, or at least not in my experience. But I think it's because they're soft enamel, which as a creator, I've always been way more attracted to hard enamel. But if the margins are like better to be able to sell them at that, I would definitely consider making soft enamel, purely for the benefit of my customers. Because like I personally prefer hard enamel, like through and through. However, it is a lot more expensive to get hard enamel manufactured. So that definitely was like eye-opening for me, and it made me wonder, like, does getting them done in soft enamel make them more approachable as like an investment? And if so, like, am I willing to do that? So I'll have to do more research on that and kind of go see, because that's definitely a wish list thing for me, is to design a couple of enamel pins for the shop. So that is that. Okay, now pictures. In no particular order. These were shot on a Diana that shoots like Instax. So normally Diana's, they're plastic toy cameras. It's in the car, else I'd show you. And they normally shoot 35mm film. They recently came out with a series that shoots Instax film. So it's a plastic lens. It's very like, I don't want to say temperamental, but like kind of like it just kind of does what it wants to do. And so the photos can turn out like just very unique and interesting. They're not designed by any means to be like this high quality, stunning like thing. Like they're meant to be toy cameras who make, you know, like vintage toy pictures. But yeah, I was walking around with that camera, and originally I was just planning on like, you know, just taking kind of environmental, like not landscape, but you know what I mean, just like overall shots that weren't like necessarily portraits, because I was like a little bit nervous about approaching people. But then I kept getting compliments on the camera, and that's like a really easy like way in of like, yeah, you start talking to them about it, and I'm super nerdy about that stuff, so I can like ramble on about it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. And so, like, when people would compliment the camera and I'd start like chit chatting with them, at the end, I'd just be like, hey, like, do you want me to take your picture? And I was like, if you're okay with that, like, I'll take your picture and we'll just do two, and then you can keep one, and I'll keep one if that's okay. And they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. And they were like so excited and like happy. That's one of the best things about instant photography, is that people like, it's such a good way to connect with people. It's so fun. So yeah, this obviously is not a person, but it's a really cool like painted mirror that I saw. I do wish the camera had picked up more of the color, but it's a little bit bleached out because there was like a lot of pastel kind of rainbowy stuff going on there. That was really cool, and why I took the picture. These were the first two to talk to me about or ask me about the camera. And they're the ones that I bought the Bulbasaur from. And I, like, on the fly decided to ask them for their portrait, so I didn't actually pay attention to the settings on the camera, which granted are very minimal to start with, but still. And so yeah, the picture obviously didn't like really turn out. It's like very bleached out, but it's still cute. It's still fun to do. And then this is the girl who helped me out at the stand that had the burn book pin. She was super sweet, and we just got chatting about life in general and stuff. She is also a sticker maker, and she is planning on having an Etsy store for her stickers, but it sounds like she hasn't opened that up yet, or it's like technically there, but there's nothing on it, I think is what she said. But yeah, so we got bonding over stickers, which was really fun. And then obviously I bought a pin from their business. I'm guessing she's either a friend or potentially works for her. I'm not really sure. This, I'm kind of showing them out of order in which they're taken, but that's okay. Of all the pictures I took that day, this is probably my favorite, because this family is just so stinking cute. Oh, they're adorable, and their little baby. So I love this picture. They were super, super sweet. But yeah, pretty much everyone that you see portraits of were people who are like, oh my gosh, that camera's so cool. And they like started talking to me. And so I was like, sure, like, let's just roll with it. So same thing here. They're like, wow, that camera's really cool. And so I was like, hey, let's take your picture. So it's just really fun. And it's such a fun gift to give people. Because it's just so like, I don't know, normally people get really weird about cameras when you're like a stranger, but this is like a camera that like makes people want to interact with you and makes people want to talk to you, and it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. I definitely like 10 out of 10 recommend. So anyways, got this super cute picture of this family, and they of course, like all the people here, have their own copy. These guys, they sold like, I don't know if they're ceramic or gemstone. I'm not really sure what they're made out of, but they sold like snails that had interesting connotation, I'll just say that. But yeah, it was pretty funny. They were very sweet, and so I was chatting with them for a bit. I'm guessing it's the husband. I don't really know their relation, to be honest, but the guy, he said that he's been photographing these events for like years now, and so of course like he's gonna talk to people who have cool cameras, and so that was fun. So I hung out with them for a little while, and then this is just a picture of like walking down the middle of the street market. And then this is just like a mural that I saw at the market. So that is all of those. So I'm going to add those to my little book here, which I'm not going to bother to do on screen because this video is getting really long and I don't want to kind of waste your time with that, but I will do that in a second. And these are some recent pictures too, so I just figured I'd show those. I went on a walk at Green Lake with my sister, so we took some pictures there. That last picture was actually not at Green Lake, but it's just there. Anyhow. And then the last part of the update is, as I was leaving the market, or no, No, sorry, wrong order. Before I got to the market and I was just driving around, the local in that town, because it's the town where my church is at, but not where I live, um, the Joann's was going out of business. So I'm gonna have to look that up and see if that was location specific or if that was like Joann as a whole, which like would be freaking crazy because Joann's has been around forever, and if Joann's goes away, I'm gonna be sad. Um, I actually shop there the least out of all the hobby stores, but I still like that it's there and I still go. So anyhow, I got a bunch of stuff from Joann's because it was going, at least that location was going out of business, and so everything was either 50 or 60% off. So this huge thing of gel pens, like this is one container of gel pens, was $9. Yeah, it was like $9.50, I think. So I originally, when I picked it up, I thought that it was two, and I didn't realize that it was like connected over here. But it's one. But why I got this is I'm trying to be as like whimsical and like, you know, just like carefree and just trying to like let loose as possible. And so gel pens are really good for that because, in my mind, because there's like a million colors and they're just fun and like silly and they kind of bring me back to being a kid again. So I just was like, you know what, gel pens would be great. And then I also got them because my sister recently got a Moleskine and she wants to get into junk journaling, and but I know she doesn't have very many supplies, like at all. And so she was asking me about like what supplies, you know, or like what do I use in mine and that kind of stuff. And so my plan is I was gonna split this in half with her, and I'm literally gonna like organize like all the yellows and all the reds, and then I'm gonna split them like directly in half so that we kind of each have an equal amount of each type of color. So half of this is gonna go to her. Very excited about that. And I'm gonna make her like a gift bag of like art supplies to use for her journal. So this, I'm obsessed with these mesh bags. I don't even know why I love them as much as I do, but I absolutely adore them. And to the point where I like, of all the things, this was the hard thing to give away. But I have a bunch more, so it's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna put all the pens that I get from that and from other things in here. I'm also gonna go through all my current stash of art supplies and pull out like sheets of stickers and stuff and just have a whole like bag to like give her of stuff for her to use. So that is the plan there, and which is why there's more to show you from Joann's. So I bought a bunch of stuff for me and a bunch of stuff for her because it was so cheap. So everything I show you, I think at the end it cost like, well, let me check the receipts in here. Hold on. $71.77. If that is useful information for you. But yeah. So, which is impressive because normally a bunch of these things, like, this would not be that, right? Like, you could tell it was 50% off. There we go. Okay. So, I've had this exact set before, and I don't know where they went, and I love them, so I just replaced it, because I'm like, I'm probably paying, what, the equivalent of maybe $5 to replace it. I'm okay with that. These are brush pens, zebra brush pens, that are very similar to, like, the Tombow Fudenosuke pens that are very popular. So yeah, I'm going to test them out, and I'm going to give one to my sister. These are for her. I have enough microns, but microns are a staple in doing all things journaling in my mind, so those are going to her. And then these, on my birthday, somebody in my friend group, who I'm like just starting to get to know, was extremely sweet and got me an Instax film camera, and I like almost cried because I was like, we're like acquaintances, like you don't owe me anything, and that was just extremely sweet. So this is relevant, I promise. And when he got that for me, he also got these like wooden little like hangy things to like use as part of the decorations for the photos, and these stickers remind me of that. So I was like, how cute would it be to like print like Instax pictures and then have these like in the corner as like decoration, because it just like reminds me of that super nice thing that was done for me on my birthday. And then these toucans were like way too cute to pass up. I have actually been to Costa Rica and I've seen toucans in person, and they are the silliest, goofiest looking birds, and they like walk like their beak is too heavy, and it's friggin' hilarious to me, and I love toucans now. I didn't care at all about toucans until I went to Costa Rica, and now I love them. And then hearts, because hearts are cute. Got a bunch of pens, so I'm gonna test whether or not these are actually different colors or if just like the barrel looks different. But at least one of these yellows is gonna go to my sister, and one of these lavenders is gonna go to her. And then these are probably gonna stay mine. And then I got 3 Happy Planner sticker books, because even when they're not on sale, these are like really good kind of staple decorative stickers. So I got one that is cosmic watercolor themed, and each one of these books I believe ended up being like $9 after the sale. But yeah, they're just gorgeous, beautiful. I love how they have both the clear background and the standard white matte background. I really like that. And I love all things space, as I'm sure you would know from earlier in the video when I was studying like quantum mechanics, which has a lot to do with space. And this one is Everyday Icons. Just thought it was really cute. Yeah, just super cute. Like these birthday cakes. I wish I had more of an excuse to use birthday cakes. But I will be going through here. I love that these books also have duplicates of their pages, because it makes it very easy to share. So I'll probably be pulling pages out of these for her as well, in addition to like my normal library of stuff that I'm going to be going through to share with her. So very, very pretty. So yeah, some of these stickers are hard to use just because they're so big, and my books are small, like these. Those are kind of tough for me to use because they're just take up a lot of space. But I think like if I were to put like a scripture in these and then like layer somehow, so it's not just like this big gaping white thing, that would work well. These I probably am not going to use, just being honest. They're just like really long and awkwardly shaped for what I use. But yeah, most of the stickers in here are really good size, and I'm just super excited to use them. So this one is Pressed and Painted is what it's called. But yeah, each of these was about $9. So sorry this video was so long. It was half a haul, half a update. But yes, if you are somebody who really enjoys stationery, who likes journaling and planning and doing like crafty things for self-care, that is what my channel is all about, and it is what I will continue to share with you guys. And hopefully I will be decent at doing these weekly updates and just kind of showing my progress in my books, because it's something that is just really fun and enjoyable. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.